Going to try and do some gig apps this morning. So basically what I do is I turn on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Spark, and then I check Roadie. I'm not an expert when it comes to this stuff, and I really don't know what to tell you. You know, if you're looking at getting into gig work, I don't want to say it's sketchy, but it's tough, in my opinion, to make a good living. So I'll try to put a screenshot in here somewhere of like there's one roadie delivery. It pays, I think, $63 for 3 miles, which sounds great until you look at the details and it's over 2,000 pounds. So it's really important if you're starting to do gig apps to take and look at the details, because if you don't pay attention to the details, you can accept something that you can't haul. Like I'm in a CRV and I'm not moving 2,400 pounds for $63, even if I had a way to do it. So I try to put this other screenshot in here. It was the first order that Spark sent me. I don't want to say it pays really bad. It's curbside, which really I have to do right now because I have a fractured foot. I can't really do a lot of walking on concrete. And but it's $21 for 22 miles. And the problem with that is it really puts me out of the zone. I live in a rural area, so I would have to drive the 22 or 21 miles out and then drive that back to the store, which you might as well say your round trip is going to be about 40 some miles. Well, by the time you do that, it breaks down to about 50 cents a mile. And just what I've found with my Honda is, now I just ChatGPT'd this, not today, but a couple months ago. Gas was a little bit cheaper than it is now. But I put into ChatGPT, I said, look, I'm not worried about depreciation. I do most of my own maintenance and repairs. What does it cost me to operate a mile? And it came back and said roughly 25 cents a mile is what it cost me. So if I was to take that order down and back, I'm making a quarter a mile, and I just don't really think that's enough personally for me. I'm not picking at people that take an order like that. I was tempted to, really, because I would like to make a little bit of money this morning, but just keep in mind your cost per mile, where you end up. Are you going to end up out of the zone? You know, how far are you going to have to drive back to pick up another order? Does it put you near another store? That may change things. Like if I was heading that direction, like if that was going towards my house and I was going home, would I take it? Yeah, why not? I mean, you're going right past there. It's pay for just making a simple stop. So today's been kind of a wash this morning. The only thing I've seen come up, Spark orders, when they came up, it was first come, first serve, and before I could click on the screen, they were gone. So it sounds like that the market is oversaturated. There were some roadie orders that came up that went out into rural West Virginia, and it really doesn't put me close to anything, and they were paying 50 to 70 cents a mile. And I really don't like to take a risk like that. In other words, I don't want to drive all the way out to rural West Virginia and then hope I can find something coming back, or end up taking something that pays just as bad coming home. So this morning I ran about 50 miles, and if my ChatGPT estimate is correct, where it cost me about 25 cents a mile to drive, I spent roughly $12.50 and made nothing. I'm not picking at gig apps. It just happens to be a day where it's oversaturated. I really, I know I lost $12.50, but I would rather lose $12.50 than to spend all day chasing orders in a parking lot that don't pay. Part of that mileage was I was chasing down some free tires and rims I found on Marketplace. It gave the location, I drove to the location, and the tires and wheels were gone. So they didn't delete the ad off of the app. But this is just part of gig work. I'm going to try to go out later and see if I can find something to make money. And if I can't, then I'll just have to come home. So when I got home, I decided to go ahead and pack up some eBay items. I got that done. I was going to attempt to go out and get some more spark orders. I didn't get any this morning, but I messaged about a set of wheels while I was home, and I'll try to put a screenshot up here somewhere if I can. But there was only a picture of one. She had 4 wheels, but there was only a picture of one wheel. So I messaged her and I said, hey, you got a picture of all 4 wheels? And she said, no, but they're all missing the center caps, and 2 of them are peeling really bad, and something else. Oh, they were used as winter wheels. So I messaged about a John Deere tractor, and I'm kind of waiting to hear back from him. I think I just saw a message from him, so I'm going to message him back, see if I can shift gears today and try to go down and pick this tractor up. So because all the stuff coming in earlier this morning from Spark and stuff like that, I'm not sure what I said earlier. I know I mentioned something about trying to pick a few things up off Marketplace, and if you can see behind me there, I picked up a little John Deere tractor. It's missing the mowing deck. It's starting ran on the trailer. That's about all I can tell you, but let's go take a look at it. Little LA 110. It started right up. I think it's going to need some carburetor work. I noticed when he turned the choke off, it started to spit and sputter a little bit. Front tires aren't the greatest, but they hold air. The hood's in pretty good shape. Has some scratches and stuff on it. Has a nice bumper on it. Good headlights. I was kind of hoping the seat was good, but it's got a couple cracks in it you can see up there. And I don't know, the front tires are kind of worn, but the back tires look like they got some life left into them. I don't really see a bunch of weather cracking or anything on it. The guy that had it had a video of it running, and he moved it back and forth, and I thought, you know what? Not a bad little tractor. But I think it'll do pretty good parting it out. So it's about 5:45 in the morning, Monday morning, and I was going to try to start my day a little bit sooner, but it is what it is. I'm struggling a little bit. I've got a broken foot. I've had it for a while, and honestly, I've been kind of lazy and slept in. So I usually try to get up around 4:30, and it takes me a little bit in the morning to get moving. But anyway, is a couple more eBay items to pack up. So this seat hinge I sold for $56, and then this bezel for an early Chevy pickup truck sold for $79. That took a couple months to sell. I don't know if I'll get it packed up this morning. I think what I'm going to do is pack the seat hinge up, because it'll be really quick. Get a label on it and try to get it out early this morning to the post office. And then the next thing I'm going to try to do is go do some early morning spark. I may only pick up 1 or 2 orders, but that's really all I'm looking for, and we'll see how it goes. I'll try to put a screenshot here somewhere of my first spark order this morning. $33 for 22 miles, has 3 stops. 1 stop takes 63 items, and the other ones are small. A little bit out of my zone, but for me, it's a good start for the morning. If I make $50 this morning, I'm content with that. I can come back out later today and try to make some more money. There was a couple DoorDash orders that came through. They really didn't pay enough for me to run them, and I didn't see anything on Roadie, and I haven't seen anything come through Uber Eats yet. So this order that I'm screenshotting here is not ready till 6:45 a.m. and it's just about that time now, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I didn't film any of that order, but It took me roughly an hour and 15 minutes to run the delivery and get back to the store. It was 3 stops. I'm hoping I can find something that pays around 20 bucks, and I would really like to find something that gets me home so I could, I need to pack up that eBay item, and I need to take a look at that John Deere tractor. I've been sitting here for about 20 minutes, and I haven't really gotten any offers that I'm interested in taking. There's some good shopping orders, but I can't really shop right now. I have 2 fractures in my foot, and walking on concrete's just out of the question. So there was a couple of low-paying roadie orders. I did get a Lowe's delivery through Uber Eats, but it didn't pay enough. So I'm going to give it about 20 more minutes. CVS opens up at 9 a.m. Sometimes CVS orders on roadie pay pretty good. And I'll try to put a screenshot in. I was thumbing through Marketplace looking for something to buy to flip, and I found this grill right here. So the seller told me, I asked him some questions. I said, are the amber lights in good shape? Is there any broken mounting tabs? And I'm kind of waiting for him to get back to me. He did send me a message, and he said, I'll be home in about an hour or so. So I'm going to hang out here probably for another 20 or 30 minutes. And I would really like to find something that paid $20 that either took me home or paid $20 for a short trip. But it's 9 a.m. and it gets tough because the market's oversaturated. They put a couple runs up for first come, first serve, and I was on the screen, and literally there was an offer, and down below it, first come, first serve, and even before I could just scroll it, it was gone. So they must be quicker than I am. See how it goes, and I guess if this doesn't work out, I'll go home and pack up my eBay shipment, and I need to get something figured out for that tractor I bought. Well, nothing's come in. I tell you, these gig apps are getting tougher and tougher. The one thing I've noticed is if you want to get some orders, you need to shop. Like if you're going to do Spark, you're going to have to do shopping orders or show up when other people don't want to. Over the wintertime, I did really good with Spark. But a lot of people just don't want to deal with the cold weather or the dark, stuff like that. And I really like to be down here around 6 a.m. I didn't get here this morning until about 6:30. And if you get here at 6, it's kind of tough, you know, because you got to get up early. I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning to do that. But if I get here at 6, I can usually get 2 trips in and head back home. So I guess I'll go home, try again later, and hopefully hear back about a few items on Marketplace. So just as I was getting ready to leave, this order here came up. I think it's 18 miles, $25. It doesn't take me towards home, and it's going to put me out a little bit later than I wanted to be. I kind of wanted to leave here around 9:30, but you know, it is what it is. I wanted to make $50 today, or at least this morning, and this should put me to where I want to be. And then if I want to come back out later, I can. And also, if the guy messages me back about that Dodge grill, I would really be a lot closer to going and picking it up because it's about an hour away. That delivery was pretty easy. I got a $9 tip from the guy, and he was asking me some questions about Spark, stuff like that. But it's really been kind of rough. This has been a rough 24 hours of trying to attempt to do anything, especially with Spark. As soon as I get home, the guy messages me about the grill. I should have came home sooner. Anyway, this is the tractor I bought yesterday, and you know, you kind of expect things to be wrong when you buy these cheap tractors. And I could tell when he fired it up that the choke had to be all the way on. So it has a fuel issue. It does start and run, but only with the choke on. It could be a number of things. It could be something as simple as a fuel filter, a fuel pump, or it could need a carburetor. I think what I'm going to do with this mower is I'm going to look at it a little bit off camera, and then probably what I'll do is, I'm pretty sure it's going to need a carburetor. For what the engine sells for, I'm probably going to buy a cheap carburetor off of eBay, slap one on it, and see if that fixes it. before I order the carburetor, I will check the fuel supply and I will check the fuel pump. But I'll start it for you and let you hear it run. And it does start without ether, but I wanted to see when I sprayed it with ether, would the engine accelerate like it's supposed to, like it's getting enough fuel, which it does. I don't want to run on ether too long. That's hard on the engines. But you can see I can start it without the ether too. It just runs really rough. That's what it does with full choke. What I was thinking, because cash flow is a little tight right now. So I had an idea. So what I was thinking is, what could I do while that carburetor's coming in? So I think what I'm going to do for this tractor, the hood is in good shape and I'm going to part it out anyway. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this hood off, run a little bit of rubbing compound on it, maybe buff it a little bit, see if I can get some of these scratches out. But I could go ahead and get that listed. And I really thought the front bumper would be worth more, but they're not worth that much. I think maybe 40 bucks, but still. So I think what I'll do is take the bumper and the hood off. I'll go ahead and get those listed. And when the carburetor comes in, I'll go ahead and get that going. Check the compression on the engine, stuff like that. I would really like to test the transaxle. It did run and drive on the trailer. But honestly, it's been so many years since I've run one of these LA series tractors. I don't remember how noisy they were. It whines a little bit, which I think is normal. But I want to make sure that it has good power when it gets hot. So I want to do that too. But in the meantime, I'm going to go over here and get some eBay listings packed up. Figure out what to do about that grill. And I know I look greasy, but man, is it humid. It is hot. Thanks for watching. So I got home last night. I bought that grill. It's sitting back there on the shelf. I'll show it to you in just a second. As soon as I got home to pack up my eBay, the man messaged me and said, "Hey, I'll be home. You can come get this grill if you want." And I was like, man, that's another 45 minutes. I was 45 minutes closer earlier. But it is what it is. Let me show you this grill. So this is a Dodge truck grill. Fits some Ram Chargers too. And it's only specific for a couple years. It'll fit some 70s up to 80 or 81 Dodge pickups, I think. I can't remember. But this particular style with the amber lights, and I'm only going off memory. If you're a Dodge fanatic, I could be wrong. But it only fits a few specific years. And I was really hesitant to go get it because it was about 60 miles, 80 miles, something like that, depending on the route, to pick it up. And it only had one picture. It has some minor dents there. But the lights usually, if you see these lights, they're usually stress cracked from age. I don't know if I'll sell those separate or not. You can see it's got like a little bend there. That's not a big deal. But if someone took it, sanded it, polished it, man, they would have a nice driver quality grill. The mounting locations look good. Usually these holes will be wallowed out, or somebody couldn't get them apart and they'll be split or cut. You know, they'll cut around the holes. But these here look really good. It's got a Dodge part number stamped into it. At least I'm assuming that's a Dodge part number. The sides are in pretty good shape. You know, I mean, for almost 50 years old, the grill's really nice, I think. I really don't know what the point of the video is. Basically, this covers a Sunday and Monday of me doing work. So today I'm going to go to a junkyard and try to pull some parts. I'm not going to film that this time. But if you're doing gig apps, if you're trying to resell, sometimes you just have to follow the momentum. I ran 2 deliveries yesterday and I made $70. I may have miscalculated some when I showed you the screenshots. I don't remember. I didn't think I made that much. I thought I only made 50. I did get a $9 cash tip, and someone could have added a tip. I don't know. But my point is, if you're doing this kind of work, sometimes you got to change lanes. If you do gig apps, try to find a side hustle to go along with it. And if it drops off, like Spark drops off, jump over to something else. Try to pick up some momentum. I do make a living this way. I don't make a great living this way. But if you were a lot younger and your health was much better than mine, you could make a living from it. And I really don't like to pay employees. It's not the money. It's just really hard to find somebody that's good at it. So that's kind of where I stand. But if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you watching. I enjoy making these. It's basically kind of like a side hobby of mine, a little bit of a vent, and maybe someone will get some information that they can use. If you can, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Someone else who likes to see this kind of stuff, the algorithm will feed it to them. Thanks for watching.